Hey guys, what is up? This is Sadid here. And it's been a while since I've done, sit down videos and even, doing some video game news reports, but I may as well just do this just because. Anyways, let's get started. Now, people are talking about the Switch 2, right? One of the biggest consoles ever. It just released today. And I'm not going to lie, it's a pretty interesting system, but the only criticism I can make about it is it's very expensive. I mean, $630 is just way too much for a video game system, at least in my opinion. And on top of that, there's only a few games. I understand, it's a launch system. There's going to be a few games at launch, but I kind of expected a little bit better. I kind of expected a little bit more out of it. I kind of expected a little bit more stuff out of it, or more stuff coming out for the console. And that's pretty much it from there. But I am excited for some games that are coming out for it as well. Not necessarily Donkey Kong and Mario Kart World's already out, but not necessarily those games. But I'm waiting for Metroid Prime 4 and the Pokemon Legends ZA. However, even though those games are going to be in the Switch too, they're also going to be released for the Switch as well. So I'm going to still play on my Switch. And not only that, it's cheaper and it just functions like a Switch. The only difference is that the Switch 2 itself is 4K and the Switch is basically like, I think 720p or HD or something like that. It can still play games, just maybe not as well as compared to its predecessor, but it could still play Nintendo games just fine. So there's nothing really wrong with it. The only thing I would criticize for the Switch is the performance. I mean, that's the only thing I would criticize. But for Nintendo games, it's just fine. I mean, there's no issues, there's no problems at all. So I don't understand why anybody would buy a console at $630 when the Switch itself is like probably $399 or probably going less than that now. And in my opinion, it's a pretty cool and unique system. Now, I'm not saying that I hate the Switch 2. I would love to buy one. I would love to afford one if I could. But again, the price is just insane on that system. Way too much. $630 is just a lot of money. Now, you might say there's a reason for it, Sadid, or whatever, whatever. And I can understand, because it's 4K. It obviously cares about battery life and performance in it. I'm not the tech guy, so I don't know too much about technology and all that stuff. But what I do know is that the Switch 2 is a good system, but I think it could be a little bit better. I mean, the only thing I could improve is pricing. Now, if there was a revision model of a Switch 2, or if the sales, or if it's going on sale, then obviously it would be cheaper, which means it would be easier for anybody to afford by then and buy it so they can play the games. The only game that I want to try out is Donkey Kong Bonanza, and that's pretty much it. So I want to give that a try, but I would like to see other franchises come back. Now, what I want is Star Fox for both Switch and Switch 2. Cross generation, and that'll be pretty sick. I think that would be pretty cool as well if we can see that. I want to see that happening. I want to see that come by. I'm also a big Star Fox fan, so that's why I want to be able to play that. I also heard another part of Street Fighter 6 was on the Switch too, which I can play on the PlayStation, which is what I have right here. And I'm pretty sure that it's just a waste of money me buying a game that I can literally play on the PlayStation, Street Fighter 6. I mean, I'm a big Street Fighter fan. I always have been, but if I really want to play Street Fighter 6, I can just play it on my PlayStation because it probably has the better performance, better gameplay, and better frame rates. And I also heard the Switch 2's frame rates are going to be better too because I heard it's going to be also 120 FPS, which is great, but it's late. It's Nintendo's late in the game. I also heard something about the Switch 2's menu screen is pretty bad. It kind of reminds you of the Nintendo Switch menu screen, which to be fair, I kind of expected it because if you really think about it, nothing has changed from the Switch to Switch 2. The only thing I can think of is resolution and maybe frame rates, but that's pretty much it. But that's for the video today. If you guys have any comments and what you think about the Switch 2, put in the comments down below and have a great day, guys, and like and subscribe and turn your notifications on.